What is up, YouTube land? It's your boy G11 back at it again with another episode of Homie Talk, where we have real discussion about real things happening right now. Now, today, as you can see, I'm joined by the usual suspects, and we have a lot of guests on here. We got Harrison returning for round two, and I am joined in person by the homie Moss over here. Both of these guys, thank y'all for tapping in for this episode.
No problem.
Hey, I just want to say, Harrison, welcome back, my guy.
You said he looks. Hey, Sus, I didn't think he was going to make it for a minute, bro. I'm not going to lie. We were like, you running on our people's time, man.
Oh, CP time? No, yeah. I had to do some stuff, though. Yeah, but I made it.
People got things to do, man, you know?
People got things to do.
Right.
All right. So to get this thing kicked off in typical fashion, Harrison, I know last time you saw us do Would You Rather. So I got a couple. I think I'm going to start off with one. And y'all know usually it don't pertain to anything we talk about. It's just an icebreaker. But here we go. So here's the first Would You Rather question. Gentlemen.
Let's go!
So, would you rather always have body odor and not know it, or always smell body odor on other people?
I'm self-conscious as fuck. No. Let me smell it. I can move away from that. I am not finna be the one.
Hold on, real quick though. You said you're self-conscious, right?
Yes.
Have you never thought that people would judge you as the guy who's weirdly walking away from everybody else?
That's not my fault. That's not my problem. That's not my problem at that point.
You just said you self-conscious though.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I can only worry about me.
Yeah, but everyone's going to look at you like what's he walking away from?
Kate says he would rather have it and not smell it F other people.
Hey, before we continue, I want to introduce y'all to one of the greatest homies I met out here in California.
Oh, snap. Is he here?
He is here. The man, the myth, the legend, my homie.
Hey, TD.
What's going on? How's it going?
It's going well, my friend. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Appreciate the great introduction. Very accurate, by the way.
You gotta love it. Well, you came just in time for the Would You Rather question. So Sus already gave us his answer. Harrison, Moss, which one would you guys pick? And then TD, we'll go to you.
I'll let Harrison take this.
All right. I'm gonna I'd rather smell BO on everyone else because I can wear a pin on my nose or something, or avoid those people. I don't want to smell like BO because then people would definitely avoid me. We don't want that.
Thank you. My point.
I'm just saying, you opened up with how self-conscious you are. Hey. You will still be judged if you're the one being weird, trying to scope around other people. I'm sorry.
Again, not my problem.
What about you, Moss? What you got?
I think I'll play devil's advocate here, man.
Okay, what you got?
Think about how many crowded places we go to on the daily.
Boy,
you want to travel somewhere, you want to go to a concert, smelling that all the time, but I'm just one person, and not only that, my friend group is strong, dude. I don't think they're not going to want to hang out with me just because I smell every now and then.
So you would take the smell over smelling?
I think I would take the smell, man. I don't want to smell it every time I go somewhere or do something with somebody. You know what I mean? And if we're talking about everyone else smells like it, then my wife smells like BO all the time, and I don't want to smell that. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to say to a very specific viewer at home. He loves you.
Look, she said, damn.
I love her no matter what. I love my homie, D-Tab, but I don't want just myself to smell like it. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Where the fuck is my name?
So there's my point.
All right, TD.
Hey, right there. K, thank you, my man.
Do you smell, man? You can get paranoid. That's a fair point.
That is a fair point.
Hey, TD, what would you pick, bro?
So I think I missed the initial question. I know it had something to do with BO versus what's the question?
All right, so here we go. I'm pulling it back up on the screen here. So,
There it is.
would you rather always have body odor and not know it, or always smell body odor on everybody else, bro?
So I hate the smell of BO, but especially when it's me.
Everybody's saying
And
the
it's
same
and
thing.
just to put this out there, it is almost never me. Almost. Sometimes you rush out in the morning, you forget to put deodorant on. You know, that's a whole nother issue. But smelling on everyone else. Oof.
Yeah, that's it. I feel that. Okay.
It'll, you know what? It'll have to be me.
Oh, he's gonna take it.
Oh, snap.
Plot twist.
I'm gonna have to be selfish and say that, you know, if I can't smell it on myself and everyone else, you know, if they really enjoy being around me, they'll just have to learn to live with it.
That's my main
ambience.
That's my main. Yeah,
that is a fair point. That is a fair point. Okay. Well, I like the icebreaker. I think, you know, I'm with y'all. I think I would take the BO as opposed to smelling it. Again, I gotta protect my nostrils, bro. Like that's you know what I'm saying. I would rather protect that, and I'll just deal with it. You know, if they want to kick it, they kick it. You know,
if they want to,
If they want to kick it, they kick it.
That's almost a way to figure out who your real friends are, dog.
Hey, it is what it is.
Hey, G, you know I can't abandon you from California.
That's true. All our talks are virtual, so we're good. Hey, man. But so that was our little icebreaker. You know, typically myself, Jude, and Sus will all have one, but you know, it's just a little something to break the ice for everybody here, get y'all in a good mood. So why are we here today? Talking about toxic relationships, man. And Jude, I know me and you had a conversation offline about this, and you had a really good point you wanted to kind of dig into. What'd you have, bro, before I go further?
Man, obviously you catch me while I'm drinking, but I kind of wanted to leave that as like the last bit. But realistically, like with all these toxic relationships and seeing what we've got in the media right now, right?
Yep.
We've got Johnny dealing with a whole defamation case.
Poor Johnny.
And during the lead up to all of this, there were just little nuggets he would leave for people about how his relationship was going, and nobody thought twice about it. We have Will, who right now, what was it? Not the last episode, because that was Mike Tyson, but the last time we talked about it on Sus's episode, where someone told me that horrible joke of the man's just Smith because he ain't got a will anymore.
Damn.
It's true, though. It's true. I agree.
And I know, like, the main thing is the whole toxic relationship, but at what point, like, as a man, do we set aside our pride and ask for help, or even reach out to people when we get into this position?
Well, it's a good question. So let's start off with that, gentlemen. When do you think would be a good time to get help in a toxic? Well, let's just say you're in a situation where someone is not going great at all. Like when is the time?
Honestly, to me, there's never a good time. Honestly, from my perspective, because there is depends. Okay, let me say it right. It depends on your friend group, and it depends on the support you have, because you can have people who say they will help you and you know they feel for you and everything, but at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck about you. And then there's then there's the people who, you know, truly have your back. So it's kind of a toss up. It's a 50-50, honestly. But it all depends on your moral support. Let's go for me, for instance. I'm gonna use myself as, you know, a guinea pig in this.
Hey, don't say nothing.
I got you, but
right.
I don't have that support. So
what do you mean?
Harder.
Me and Jude got your black.
Yes, but like in the way that I mean it is like that moral support. Like for like right now, I ain't gonna even lie. My mental stability right now is just in the gutter.
Okay.
I appreciate y'all what y'all do, you and
Yep.
Jude, but I don't know. I still feel like I'm in a rut. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do, who to go to. I mean, I can, and then there's moments where people who like you don't want to overburden them with your problems, you know?
That's true.
So sometimes you just end up bottling it up, and you don't have an outlet.
Yeah, get that.
What you guys think?
I think my state towards it is any position where it gets abusive, and I don't mean strictly. I don't mean strictly physically. I mean verbally too. Like,
that's true.
You know, from my stance, like any kind of idea that you come with that's shot down by your significant other.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's someone that doesn't want to support you in a relationship.
And
maybe that's the time where you need to look and do some self-respect and look back at yourself. Like, is this the person I want to be with? That's not supporting me in anything I want to do, regardless of what it is, you know? So I think verbally or physically, that's when you need to kind of look at that. Like, I might need some outside help with this relationship.
Okay. Bert, TD, what y'all got?
I think at first I was going to say immediately, but then suspects, his story kind of changed my immediate thought. But I would say, you know, if you have a good friend circle, chances are you talk about what your relationship is like. People should be able to pick up on things that are red flags and try to give you some guidance. But sometimes it's really just hard to take that guidance, even if people are giving you that advice when you are in that rut. Sometimes, you know, they say love is blind, but love can also have you blinded. And no matter what anyone says, you'll still try to make things work. And it seems like, you know, based on those trials that are going on right now, he's wanted to make things work. And some of the things that they say she's done. Me personally, I'm out. But some people, you know, they can lose a finger, they can have feces in their bed, and still be perfectly fine. But that's not my thing personally.
I feel that. Okay.
I can't condone blaming it on the dog though. Like, honesty is the best policy. I'm still walk out the door, but honesty is the best policy.
You want her to own that, Dookie.
Oh my God.
Hey Burke, what you got, bro?
You know, when we're growing up and our moms and our good friends like give us those red flags, like you're talking about, TD, like, hey, that person's probably not right for you, and your mom says it, your dad says it, and we just keep going down that rabbit hole. You really know who's the right one when you get that genuine feedback. But you have to take that and understand what your biases are and open your mind to like, hey, that person's telling me because they care and they love me. We should probably work on this, you know? And if not, they're probably not the right one. And you're just going down a deeper rabbit hole of toxicity.
Damn, that
counterpoint to that, though.
I was going to bring
counterpoint to that. Sometimes you'll have those family members that try to push you toward it because they think it's best for you.
Yeah, and you know what it is, too, with that is, you know, your background and your environment that you grew up in might not be the same environment that the other person did. And so you get a mix of two different environments, and it just shitstorms into craziness.
I was going to say, too, like we all have an unconscious biased opinion against our significant other.
Yeah.
And how do we bring that up to our family members? Like if you run into a problem, you're like, let me call my dad or my mom about this and ask them about it. And then they inadvertently get a negative opinion against your significant other because you're only bringing the problems to outside people. So they all they see is like,
all the negative shit,
all the negative stuff. Yeah, so they really get that opinion.
Damn.
I mean, my thing. So my personal policy, like, I'm pretty sure most of us here are married. Most.
TD's like, nah,
no. But the way I deal with stuff, and the approach I think is best with that kind of deal is I don't tell family nothing.
That's good.
Everything. Well, none of the negative stuff, because for exactly that reason you mentioned, I don't want them to get a negative perspective of her or get some kind of bias, and then it's them against her and all that.
Just because you're venting at the end of the day,
right?
You know, so.
Any issues me and my wife have, I try to handle it directly with just me and her. Yeah. I keep everybody else out because that's how problems get created, bro.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Because your mom or your dad, if they get into the conversation, they can.
That's my wife calling up.
They can lead you down another road. Like you know, let's say this position you were on that you wanted to discuss was handled between you and your wife, but now your mom or your dad that you vented to, they're still hanging on to that. So every time you talk to them, they bring it back up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man. And you know, family doesn't let stuff go.
They won't let stuff go. Like, is this the right person for my son or my daughter? You know,
like we tried to told you.
They can cause problems, I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do y'all think Johnny or Will ever had that type of interaction, like with their scenarios? I don't know if Johnny Depp has like any family or anything. I know Will, like he has his mom. Because he doesn't really, I don't know if y'all know Will Smith's backstory, right, with his dad, but his dad used to beat on his mom when he was a kid.
Yeah.
So he wrote a book about it. He talked about he hated his dad, and he didn't want to. His whole thing is he wanted to build a relationship that was the complete polar opposite of that.
He didn't want to emulate his dad at all.
At all.
Yeah.
So essentially, Will's made himself the punching bag of the relationship because he's trying to, do the right thing.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I don't think you stay in a relationship and just take the abuse and all that. Like TD, like you got to bounce at some point, or as soon as that stuff happens, I feel like.
That being said, that there was a line crossed at a very specific event.
There was. Well,
when what you thought was funny turned into you slapping a homie.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna refresh us real quick with that. Give me a second, y'all. I know we've all seen it, but just to jog our memories on what went down with that, give me just a second.
Dual screening real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. I had it on standby.
He single screening it, huh?
No.
You got another one?
He's got it hooked up to the TV.
Oh shit!
I know the hotel he's staying at.
Hey, so here we go. This is what you're referencing here. Just as a refresher, real quick.
Lord, Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Hey, so that's the clip. I brought that up as a refresher so we could look at that again. And like he laughed at the joke initially. He thought it was funny.
Right.
And then Jada hit him with the execute order 66 look.
Straight up.
And then he's just wife, bam, out your mouth. Like what y'all think about that, man? What's y'all's opinions?
To me, like military wise, it's almost like when you do something wrong and you get hit in the eyes of like a MTI and BMT, like you jacked up.
Yeah.
You better go fix it right now.
Right.
Or you're screwed when we get back to so and so.
Dang.
And she gave him those eyes and he was like, I gotta do what I gotta do right now in front of all these people. Even though he didn't want to. It seemed like
that's crazy. Well, what about y'all? Just chime in wherever y'all feel like. Just jump in, gentlemen. What y'all think about that?
From a quick hidden comment that we have, a mysterious individual decided to point out genuinely the fact that he laughed before the eyes were locked. And then, of course, I don't know if you have the other video with it, but she turned around and laughed after the smack happened.
She did.
Yeah.
You thought it was funny. That's crazy to me.
But then she turned around and says she didn't ask him to defend her honor. Like, bruh, you over here gave this man the
we all
look.
know that because the look that she gave throughout the joke.
She said, "You better go up there and do something."
Yeah, it resulted in a response. It was like me looking at you, like in class, like you better say something, dude. Like without saying something, you know, like you know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody gives you that look.
What you got, TD? You look like you cooking down there, man.
So for me, I just thought it was sad when I first saw it, just because like I laughed at it, and I remember when I first heard about this happening, because I definitely wasn't watching whatever what was it, the Oscars?
Yep.
Okay, I was not watching the Oscars, but
me neither.
Got an alert on my phone, and it said Will Smith punched Chris Rock. It was like an Apple News alert. I was like, punched him, and then I looked at the footage. Obviously, it wasn't a punch, but the joke was not that bad.
No.
And G.I. Jane is a powerful woman character, so like there are much worse,
very much so.
Short-haired people to compare her to if he was really trying to insult her. And then if you know the whole story with Will Smith, and if you read his book or kind of followed, you know, the history of their tumultuous relationship, you would know that she has embarrassed him multiple times throughout recent history and long-term history. And then that's the moment he wants to go up on the world's biggest award show and slap Chris Rock, like not some random person, not some random place. It was just, you know.
Why didn't he slap August?
I want to bring up the fact that, like, how mad do you have to be to walk like 100 feet and still hold that anger enough to slap somebody when you get up there?
That's a long walk.
I think
a comedian.
From a mail order, like we all know there's certain things that can set us off like that.
Yes.
And we act without thinking.
Yeah,
but man, you heard the joke, laughed about the joke, looked at your wife about the joke, corrected your opinion about the joke, got up, walked 150 feet to a person that's supposedly your friend, and then slapped a man. Like, I feel like I would have thought differently between all that.
You would have had time to process it,
right?
Work with you.
I got something real quick.
You got something,
and this does kind of go into my own past, but holding on to that anger.
I got you.
I have received news from an ex. Long story short, I straight up fought a friend over an ex. And I held on to it to the point of the moment we broke up, I got news that she was more interested in my buddy. I went all the way to his house, called him out. He took me to the location, which makes this worse. Like, I had to go a whole drive with him and not do anything. And once we got there, we settled our differences. I told him what happened, and he was just like, wow, that's the dumbest thing you've ever done.
Over next. Bert, what you got, bro? I know you've been waiting.
Man, I think it was a cry for help. Like, he's trying to just basically say, get me out of this, give me some publicity, like make a statement, because that was his tipping point. It wasn't like he was sitting there not fuming from things that have been going on in the past. There's been a lot of shit going on to lead to that, because it's just a joke. You know, you could just brush it off. Him as a professional should be able to even look at his wife and be like, all right, I got your back. We'll talk about this later. But him taking those 100 feet up, shit has been going on for a long time. And that was just like we talked about the goldfish that died, that one incident that led to everything else. So, yeah, history of unfortunate events.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I think a total build up from that, from whatever was going on behind the curtains, led to that one moment.
So do y'all think Will should have just like exited the situation? Like out of everything that happened, right? So you got the entanglement with August Alsina. You got a video. There was another video that released where she's just she's like, she just started recording him in the house, and you can see on this man's face, on his soul, he was like, yo, do not just record me in the house.
Yeah, he's very serious.
He's very serious.
In no way, in a jokingly way, saying you can just record me whenever you want.
Right. He's like,
he's psychologically being like abused, you know, and it's people that are psychologically abused do things like he did because they're not thinking about it. They're just acting out, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, so go ahead, TD.
I have a theory.
What you got?
I'm going to throw this out there. So, did anyone follow his YouTube series where he was on his fitness journey?
Yeah.
So he has a whole series on YouTube where, you know, I'm assuming the shape he was in at the start of the series was after he filmed King Richard, because he had to put on a little bit of weight, so he was heavier
to fit that role. Yeah.
Yep.
Right, to fit the role. And Will Smith is what, 50 something or close to it, right?
Yeah,
maybe 50.
Gotta be, yeah, gotta be
there. And throughout the course of this series, he was doing fitness all over the world. And when you get older, to make that dramatic of a weight change, muscle gain change,
at 53,
I feel like some people are following me. Typically, you may need to take some type of supplementation. So let's say he was on, you know, a testosterone replacement, or you know, something that tends, especially if you don't, you know, handle it correctly, it tends to mess with your emotions and kind of what you would call rational. So if he was coming off of that and he was experiencing, you know, a spike in estrogen or whatever the case may be, it would affect him in the way that it did, and he could have made a move that he wouldn't normally make, because Chris Rock, this isn't the first time he's joked about Jada.
Right.
Yeah.
In 2012,
blown through the roof, and he was like, I got
or his
all this
estrogen.
anger.
Right.
Yeah. Who knows?
His
Who knows?
Right.
He couldn't
Yeah,
control his
He's
emotions.
like,
but
I
it's
gotta
also not
get
the first
back.
time he slapped someone, because there was
Yeah,
a reporter.
The guy kissed him. The reporter kissed him.
Oh, he did do that. Yeah.
Slaps him.
Yeah.
He did. I remember that. That was the only other instance, because typically Will has been a chill dude. Like, I don't know. He's been a chill dude. He's been a good role model for, you know, for dudes in the black community.
Ages now. He's been a great role model. Man.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up watching Fresh Prince and seeing all his movies and stuff. And you know, when this went down, or just the past couple of years, it's been hard for me personally to sit here and watch him do this downward spiral and see how his life has been, you know, just taking a dive, seeing Jada just disrespect him.
I could agree totally. Like, was it just from this incident, the spinoff to Fresh Prince? Wasn't it canceled now just from this incident? They're thinking about canceling it.
Well, a lot of his stuff did get canceled. Now I don't know if Fresh Prince was one of them, but Netflix definitely shut down a lot of his projects.
A lot of his stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know the newer show has like its own controversies, and that may be why that's I don't think it's directly, but could be. There's a trickle effect.
Yeah.
You know, but we talked about this before too, and it's just, you know, I wish the best for Will. I personally think he needs to. Hey, it's my wife. You know,
it's like, I got a question.
Right. You know, I think he needs to just separate himself from her. You know, the other piece of this that we didn't really dig into was that, you know, Jada had originally dated Tupac. I don't know if you guys knew this.
Yeah.
But I think Tupac imprinted on Jada Pinkett Smith when they were younger, and he was supposed to be the one that she was supposed to marry. I mean, if you look at, there's a lot of different videos and documents out there where she said she did not marry Will Smith.
So, like, she settled in a way?
She settled for Will Smith.
So
she wanted that thug and love. She wanted somebody that was going to backhand her upside the head. You feel me? That's what she wanted. But she got Will Smith. You know, even for her, I think it was like her 50th birthday or 40th birthday or something, he had planned her birthday for 3 years, and he had a big event for her, and she was not happy. Right.
Yeah.
This is the type of individual we're talking about. You feel me? So
that's the verbal abuse I was talking about earlier, man. Like,
yes. Like he's doing everything he can. You know, some might say he's simping to make this woman happy, and nothing that he can do will make her happy. You feel me? This is the
That's
definition
crazy
of
to
toxic.
me on that level. You're on that level of stardom and money that you're still worried about what one woman, and that's how, I guess that's how strong love is, dog. You know, when you're at that peak, and you're still just worried about, you know, what one woman thinks, when you could typically honestly have anyone you wanted to.
That's something we hit on many times we talked about this.
Yeah,
we have.
I'm gonna bring this up to y'all. Get your opinion about this. I don't know if you can hear it. Oh, probably not. Let me see. No,
I can't hear anything.
I need to fix it in 1 second.
Way to suck, sus.
Thank you.
I say that with love, man.
No, I forgot to hit the share volume thing. Okay.
Come on, man. We have admin rights.
I forgot. All right. Let me click the damn thing. No? Still no? Oh.
So many men so interested in a domestic violence case before?
Huh?
No, you haven't. Have you ever seen someone made by men talking about, look at this Johnny did in court?
Nobody, I've never seen not one of those.
This is bad. This is going to be bad for us.
What?
When men get excited about a domestic violence case, don't be excited. Excited? Because that means I always am very wary. No matter what is happening in the world, no matter what the fucking angle is, there's a way to spin it against women. And especially something like this, oh my God, it's going to be so bad. Huh? Like, there's so many memes about this.
Oh my God.
It will set a precedent. And it will shift the paradigm a little bit. So first and foremost, you did not do your research at all, because let's look at this. But what does that say? Amber Heard arrested in 2009 on a charge of hitting her girlfriend. Oh, and not even that. Someone else came forward and said that she did the same thing to them. She's had multiple occasions of being abusive. Bro, excited? Who's excited? You know what men are at this point? Tired, fed up, sick to their stomach. Because all you women sit and do to men is point the fucking finger and victim blame.
Story time. I was visiting my sister in Valdosta, Georgia. She lived in an apartment complex with 4 roommates. It was all girls. Outside of the apartment complex, though, we heard a loud commotion. We didn't know what was going on. So we go to look, and there was this lady with a hammer literally breaking into the car with her boyfriend actively in it. She's like beating it. Everybody ran to the window like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. Ooh, he must have got caught cheating. He must have got that. I'm sitting there petrified. I'm like, bro, we need to go help him. He's in danger. My mom was like, nah, that's a man. He can handle hair if he want to. She just trying to get some anger out. That's property. We don't care about property. I'm sitting there like.
All right, let me stop it there. But the point of that is the fact that it is normalized for men, not to.
Okay, it's funny. Sorry.
It's normalized nowadays for men to just have to deal with it, and they kind of brush it off, and as like the woman stated before, is the fact that men are getting tired and fed up and to having to deal with the physical and emotional abuse from their significant other, and it's normalized, and that's the crazy part. And where we see stuff like he just said, he's a man, he can handle it, he'd be all right. And while somebody else is worried about him, like, oh, we should go help him. Like, why not help him? Why not just because he's a man? He doesn't deserve some help? Like,
that's true,
what sense does that make?
Yeah, I think when it comes to any abuse like that, women are quick to act to help one another, but men are like, he should be able to handle his own damn thing.
Right.
We don't even think about helping one another.
No, or just in general, like Suspect said, men are typically left to just kind of deal with it. That's how we're raised, to just kind of deal with stuff.
Yeah.
When it's not right, abuse physically, or I mean, that video you said, dude, the Joan was smashing his car with a hammer. She could actually hurt that dude,
right?
Or kill him, regardless. So we got to take stuff like that a little bit more serious, I think. And just as dudes, I know as a dude myself, as a man, my pride gets in the way,
of course,
of asking for help.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying?
I think that is for a lot of us, honestly, because it is just from the little conversations me and Jude have with you. There's a lot of times that pride holds me back from saying a lot of stuff. Because
I know I hide a lot through, just I play off my pain as humor in most cases. So that's just me.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I'm the same. I'd rather just try to laugh it off or make fun.
Make it something funny.
Yeah. But what does that really fix? That's a short-term solution. Because at the end of the day, you're still stuck with that. You're still trying to have to go home and deal with that.
That's his business.
So,
Kay also has a point, though.
So Kay says men think the opposite. In fact, that's his business. Is that true? Like if y'all,
in some cases, like especially if I don't know I don't know someone. I hate to be that guy. But like if I don't know you and like a hammer, that's a bit extreme. I might step in.
Sure.
But like if there's some argument on the street, that's not my business. I have nothing to do with that.
Like Bert, TD, what y'all think about that, man? Like if you saw that situation or something similar, would you step in to help, or would you just in your mind, your first thought, like what would it be?
So personally, I think if I see something escalating to violence and I can assist, then I'll assist. I was in, Walmart, middle of the demic. I think that's an appropriate word you can use in replacement, right? I know.
Demic's fine.
Words. All right, so all I hear is a bunch of yelling in Walmart. Someone screaming, "This person is gonna kill me!" And instinct just kicks in, and I run to where I hear the commotion. I grab this man and I hold him until the police come. Luckily, people they were capturing video of it, so it couldn't be turned on me. But violence isn't something when someone is helpless, and especially it sounded like a female was being hurt by this man. I just want to help any way I can. But if shots are firing, I'm not bulletproof. You have to be realistic about what's going on and not let the pride get you to be irrational.
Right.
Yeah. Big facts. Burke, what you got, homie?
I think what happens is those problems, they're identifying the wrong problems and not focusing on the right problems. And people get into these relationships and they don't truly understand what person they're getting into that relationship with based on character, based on the person, based on their background. They haven't had these serious conversations either. Like, hey, what do you really think about this? And how does it make you feel? Like deeper dialogue into what makes them feel certain ways. And then when they do cheat or things like that, it's not that big of a deal. Just move on and don't get so upset, because then you're identifying something that's stemming deep below the surface that you didn't identify prior. And with men, we don't talk about this because we're too busy with pride and ego, which is a very bad downfall that society has created for us. But it's definitely not right. We need to be addressing these things and looking out for each other, just like women do, but they're more catty and bitchy about it. But that's okay. At least they're doing it, right? We're not. So
yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. That's why I like formats. So across YouTube, that's why you're starting to see more formats like this one come up, or you'll see more red pill type stuff. Where men are starting to talk about these things and starting to figure out, how to move in relationships, or just even talking about this stuff. Because let's be honest, when's the last time you sat down with a group of dudes and actually had a conversation about this?
Oh, dude, it's a huge barrier, and it's definitely not something you ever really want to bring up. So I get it 100% that it's something that that we don't talk about, that we should be talking about, if it is a problem.
Well, and then here's the other part too, man. We got to teach our kids how to move properly and teach them how to interact with this stuff too, because they're the next generation that has to deal with this crock of shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? They're the next one. So, when we're raising them, whether, daughters or, or sons, whatever, we have to teach them the appropriate ways to move. There's a lot of
helicopters.
What's that?
Oh, I just said Apache helicopters, number 2 pencils. Can't just limit it, man.
You always throw me off. I was cooking, and you always.
That's what he does all day.
You weren't cooking, dog.
But yeah, like real talk, man. There's stuff I did not learn until I was like in my late 20s, going on 30, that I wish I knew earlier.
Right.
About how to deal with stuff, relationships and all that kind of stuff that I'm still learning as I go. So we gotta, these conversations gotta happen. When you guys are, for the people that are watching, when you're out there dating, you got to make sure you're vetting properly. You got to ask those serious questions, because you don't want to get attached to crazy. You feel?
The most basic thing is: are you doing this for lust, or are you doing this? Are you seriously intimate about this person? Because if you do it for lust, then that's where these problems come from.
Well,
yeah, and then we look about the two that's going on right now.
Johnny and
disregard Johnny and Amber, but it seems like Will wasn't invested enough to ask those questions, because now you're 20 years later, now you're just finding out that this is the person who might not be good for you.
Well, I think he just ignored the signs.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's important to you.
But for 20 years. 20 years?
Well, because remember his background.
It's complacency in a relationship is this dangerous thing.
And it's not even, I don't even feel like it's just complacency. It's just that he wanted to have the perfect everything. He wanted to have the perfect relationship that his parents didn't have. And
do whatever it took.
And that became a barrier between rational thinking and everything else, because some people, they're like, all right, I want to be married for 50 years or forever, and no matter what happens, I'm going to maintain it because I want to hit the 40th anniversary and the 50th anniversary. But you have to realize that no matter how much time you invest, if it's not worth maintaining that investment, you have to let it go. And so
that's hard, homie. That is hard.
It is very difficult, but it's necessary. And once you get past that mourning, that grieving phase, then you realize, if you have that confidence in yourself and you have a good support system, that things will be okay. You will find someone else. You will continue living.
Yeah.
I'd like to bring up a question in this.
What you got?
And I'm willing to as well. But are any of you guys on here would like to give an example of toxic relationship that you've seen yourself?
Go for it.
100%. I'm ready.
Yeah, right. Here we go.
Go for it. I'm gonna let you go first.
I will throw myself under the bus. I've been in situations, and this definitely goes into the complacency and more so just wanting it to work, where I've been with someone for the sake of, I want this to work, even though I had friends tell me this is bad for me. I had a genuine increase in my temper. I would do everything in my power, and lo and behold, the entire time I'm having side thoughts and talking to my now wife, who actually put me at ease, someone I was genuinely comfortable talking with, who I could have, at the time I didn't know any better, like just parted ways and moved in that direction. And it took me genuinely blowing up before I made that move. And this was, to get more specific, it wasn't anything necessarily physical. It was more of talking about how, I wasn't being enough of a gentleman. I wasn't lining up with her religious views because I wasn't practicing a certain religion. I did things wrong because I like certain types of things. I was a degenerate because simply I liked anime. Like, there was a lot of things that I was doing wrong that I enjoyed, and I was losing out on those things for the sake of trying to make someone else happy.
Good. I'm good.
Bruh, that
What
is
was her name?
literally literally almost a 1-for-1 of what I'm dealing with right now. And
Are you dealing with? I feel like it's the religion that throws it off, though.
yeah, besides the religion, that is the only difference. Besides the religion part, it's literally almost a 1-to-1 of what I'm dealing with right now.
Well, Sus, do you want to go into yours?
I mean, he pretty much said it right there. It's the same thing, just out with the religion. But for me, it's just like I feel like I can't. It's not easy for me to get out because me being in this relationship, I have a kid. I have a kid now with this person, and that makes it 10 times much more harder.
Absolutely,
That makes sense.
And trying to make it work with the kid, I find myself like right now. I'll be totally honest with you. I feel devoid of anything.
Yep.
I feel depressed. I feel drained. I feel angry all the time for no reason. I don't know. I don't know my exit. I don't know how I can take an exit. I try to sit here and make it work on more than one occasion, but it
Tough
just
situation, man.
Yeah.
I don't know my next move. I don't want to do anything drastic. But again, I don't know what to do.
That's a tough situation. Does anyone have any kind of input or words for Sus?
I'm sitting here thinking about it now, like trying to put myself in the same situation, but I feel like I'd be providing the same input as Sus would be. I wouldn't know how to handle that. I haven't had to before, so I don't want to speak on it out of turn.
So I can chime in a little bit. And when people give advice, there's no one size fits all, and
that's right.
A person has to go through their own journey. But I have been in a relationship before where it made me feel very bad about myself, and I was missing confidence, which is one of my traits normally when I'm in a good space. And so after things ended, I felt similar to you, and I was doing things that weren't really helping me to move forward. I was, drinking, just maybe playing more video games than normal, watching more TV than normal, working out less. And what got me out of it was, one, a good support system in terms of my friends forcing me to go out and forcing me to go to the gym, especially, when I was on a base. But what I did, my main pathway forward was focusing on myself, not just moving on to the next thing, just focusing on me, focusing on my fitness, making minor changes. All right, I need to stop drinking as much. I need to stop eating trash food, and I need to realize what they missed out on, because I knew that I was a good person. I knew I had, things. When I had myself together, I'm together. So you just really have to value yourself and stay away from things that kind of take away from who you are. And then slowly you'll get back to yourself when you believe in yourself more. But again, no one side.
Makes a lot of sense when you get in these relationships with people that try to change you.
Right.
You finally come out on the outside and you're like, man, this is not who I am,
Yeah, you're lost.
I genuinely wish, again, this isn't one size fits all, but at least for me, I wish like, again, when it comes to the support network, it was hard for me at the time. And Sus, I know me and G tell you, like, we're here for you. We mean that. If you need to vent, my phone is available. I'll kick people out of my office for you. I got you, homie.
Straight up.
But
Appreciate it.
You can always
I
give us
just-
a call, bro.
like, I did not have people I wanted to talk to, whether it be because of the pride or the ego. Like, I just wanted to, on the surface, if I looked like I had it together, I was good. That was me. But lo and behold, I got taken to a point where I was in an unfamiliar place because she took me to her church event.
Mhm.
She kept talking, and I just stopped caring, and I blew up.
Damn.
In your situation, TD's right. You got to focus on you if you can, because where you're at right now, you cannot afford to blow up.
Right, because you got the baby involved, so that's you know, man. But you know we got you, and you know we're supporting you to try to get you to where you need to be too, sis. You know,
Yeah, I appreciate it, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
One day at a time. One day at a time.
And just throwing this out there, but focus on what you have. So, you know, right now you have a computer or a phone or something. You're here. You have walls around you. You have a cat tree, and I have a cat tree. You know what I'm saying? So you have a cat still?
It's sitting up there if you can see his little ear.
Hey, cat squad. Stevenson coming out, probably showing off his cat tree. Or Jude.
I'm not home to show off my cat right now.
Cat man, dude.
Yeah, we're all cat dads.
All right.
So that's what I'm saying. Focus on what you have and not what you don't have, and that'll help push you. But okay, hey, cat's there too.
Yeah,
I had to lock my cat out the room because I didn't want all that drama jumping all over.
Yeah, no, I think that's some great.
What was that? Blue eyes?
Yeah.
Tommy's, dude.
Yeah.
Man, that's fancy.
Balinese.
Balinese.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, same thing, but
but different, right?
You have the DNA and me results from the cat and ancestry tree.
Not. I don't have them. She has them.
I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but Harrison, would you have any kind of example from coming up at all?
So I set myself into a toxic relationship that is now, let's say, my marriage. And it was definitely a part of, let's say, me not understanding what mental health issues like my wife had before I got into the relationship and what traumatic experiences she had, suffered through her childhood. And then myself being kind of like a arrogant, egotistical, like asshole and steering away from that and not helping her and like focusing too much on me, like being like, hey, you're not going to figure it out, so I'll go find somebody else. But we were still in a relationship, right? So I didn't focus on fixing the big problem as in the relationship and helping her. I was too much thinking about myself and for selfish reasons, So once I said, like, it probably is me. Like, she's come with these issues and I chose that. And I'm steering away from it. So I need to help her conflict either get past these issues and work together to solve the issue together. Which is hard because she told me to after I steered away from her. She said, I don't care. Like, we're going to work this out and I still love you, which to me, like, where else can I go now? There's no other person. So.
Hey, shout out to the real quick Ramsey. He said a conversation is needed when your significant other just listens for understanding. Express your concerns and seek to negotiate give and take in the relationship. It's okay to have time apart for clarity. So that 100%.
That does not always work.
Yes, man. I all too many times where you try to like handle a problem for your significant other when really they just want you to listen, And male, Mr. Male egotistical, person wants to jump in there and solve a problem when when it should be them that solves it. You know, should let them
correct
that issue, or so on and so forth. But
y'all said some key stuff. Though as I was listening to Burker, the thing that jumped out to me was that he said he chose that. You feel me?
Yeah.
One thing that we all have to understand is that we choose the situations that we get into.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in it, you're in it.
No doubt.
And you have to work together. It is a give and take to solve those issues. It's not, one person gets their way and the other person doesn't. It's a collaborative effort. You gotta compromise on some things. She gotta compromise on some things. And at the end of the day, if y'all both can do that,
make it work.
Right. If y'all could do that, it'll come together and stuff will.
Yeah.
Slap.
Why are you clapping?
No, you didn't see the little.
You don't even ask this.
Stop it. Stop.
Don't even get into it.
Fucking idiot.
I had to bring a little bit of humor. We were getting too serious. Man.
Yeah, we're
getting too serious.
We went down the rabbit hole there.
We did. hey, but guys, we are coming up on our hour. Does anyone have any closing thoughts before we wrap this up for tonight that you want?
Red flags, run.
That was real quick.
That was fast.
That's all I got.
I mean, I would have left it at just to point this out there. It's not a domestic violence case; it's a defamation case
for Johnny Depp. Yep.
But it's a toxic relationship nonetheless.
It is, and he did get out, but she's trying to,
$100 million later,
for ruining her name.
That's facts. Yep.
Well, yeah, he lost a lot of deals, a lot of future movies, things like that. So,
and people are petitioning. People are petitioning to get her out of her Aquaman role.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know that.
He lost his.
It has millions of signatures.
Yeah, like 2 million signatures and something like that. Johnny Depp lost his what's that damn movie?
Pirates
of the Caribbean. He lost that.
Yeah,
he lost his
Fantastic
role.
Beasts.
Yep, he lost that role too. And Disney dropped him. It was like, yeah.
Good luck, man.
Yeah.
He lost a lot more than she did.
Just for reference, it's estimated that he suffered about a $60 million loss in just work that he couldn't do after the defamation.
Yeah.
So he's suing her for $50 million for defamation, but he's estimated to have lost $60 million.
More than that. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
But if you got anything, Moss, Burker, y'all got anything?
No, I think we covered a lot that I really want to discuss.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot came out there to talk about relationships.
It was.
I really loved everyone else's viewpoints and opinions.
Oh, yeah.
I also want to thank TD.
Here we go.
Look. I will admit to the both of you, and by that I mean Sus and G.
Yeah.
I had a low-key viewer here the whole time.
Oh, you
critiquing
did?
Me specifically, not you two.
I see 2 of them down there.
Mm-hmm.
And
down here,
TD, I want to just thank you. I will eventually have a proper setup to where I am confident enough to throw myself on here. But until then, I'm gonna keep the face for radio.
Bro, if G can be up there, you can be up there.
Beautiful face that should be on screen.
Right, we want to see.
If look at G. If he could be up there, you could be up there.
So you saying I got a face for radio? That's what you're saying.
Look, I didn't say that. All of them are saying it.
That's your words, not mine. That didn't come out my mouth.
No, I said, the resident otaku Jude, have a face for radio.
This is what I deal with on a weekly basis when the rest of y'all ain't here. Just
it used to be daily.
All time.
You used to be daily.
It did used to be daily. But hey, Burker, you got anything, bro?
Yeah.
Come on, Bert.
Because I think we haven't talked about it. It's important. If you don't truly know yourself before you jump into a relationship, it's bound to fail.
if you can't love somebody else, if you don't love yourself.
Mad facts. Hey.
Damn, how long that?
That's a good quote. Like I think I was reading today. It was
Yeah.
like you spend a lot of your life trying to learn someone else before you really even know yourself, dude.
Facts.
Like,
yo,
what's more important at the end of the day, you know?
Yo, it was nothing but bars today. Like, I like this forum. I like this discussion. I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming out here and doing the stream tonight. I know, Moss, you were kind of last minute.
It's all for you, G. It's all for you, bro.
You were like, fuck it, let's go.
Let's do it.
Burker, thanks for coming for round 2. TD, it was a pleasure having you, homie. I know you're Jude's guest on the show today, but you're welcome. You all are welcome back anytime you want to chime in. So for those of you at home, thank y'all for tuning in. If you haven't, make sure you
shout out D-Tabs, T-Money.
That's right, your wife and Teller were down there. For you people at home, what's up, dude? Yeah, those were the guests sitting in the shadows watching. But for you people at home, make sure y'all hit like, make sure y'all subscribe, make sure you share the videos because we are having important discussions over here that need to happen on the platform. So, hope to he dropped suspect out. Man, why y'all clowning around? I'm trying to close this out. But hey, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Have a good rest of the weekend. And until next time, we out. Peace.